Hi, everybody. I'm Mel Dorr, the Aloha Shirt Psychic, and I'm so excited. This is the first time JennLynn has been on my show. We were going to do it in August, but I forgot all about it. So you can go write it on your calendar, Mel. If you want to get a hold of JennLynn, JennLynnTarot, that's JennLynnTarot.com. And Jen, you also have a YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, JennLynnTarot YouTube channel. And there's always, as you can see, there are always cats in my videos. The kittens that I got in July are here. This is Bellatrix and this is Aurora, Bella and Roro.
I think we're all critter people, you know.
Yeah, it's funny. I get a lot of personal readings from people who are pet lovers.
Actually, cats are really good batteries. So are dogs for us mediums. Like when I do my psychic work, Lucky will go lay down. One of my friends brought his dog to the office today, and Lucky was just having a ball with Hazel. So hi, Hazel.
Well, and they pick up on spirits too. So like, when I'm pulling somebody's, deceased loved ones on the other side over by me, they pick up on it and they come around even in personal readings.
Yeah, my passion's dog training. So we trained Hazel a little bit. So
I don't know how you do it with the dog. I almost got a dog instead of the kittens, but here in Illinois, we go -20 sometimes in the winter. I was like, I am not walking a dog when it's cold outside.
That's why I had in my townhouse, that's why I had a fence put up along the back, because then Lucky can go outside. But when it's that cold, she doesn't even want to go out, but she'll go do her business and she'll want right back in. I don't want It's like, yeah, too cold to walk a dog when dogs don't even like it. It's hard on their pads. But anyway, and I don't think it's a good idea to I don't think it's a good idea to get a dog with all the cats, because you don't know how that dog's going to react around the cats, and vice versa.
Well, Lucy, my big cat who was up here before we started, she loves dogs. And I walk her on a harness like a dog sometimes. She's the only one I take outside, and I do little videos sometimes of her walking in the garden. I have a little labyrinth garden in the backyard. But she goes out front and greets all the dogs in the neighborhood when people are walking their dogs.
Wow, that's so cool. And JennLynn and I first met Jen the first time I went to Sedona in 2021. And then we became fast friends. And then this past springtime, we did Sedona again. And now we're excited because we're going to the Catskills. I think it's September 28th or 29th.
2 weeks, like 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Oh my goodness.
And I noticed in the comments when you asked for questions, some people saying, I can't wait to see you in the Catskills. I'm like, yay.
And we're going to do Sedona again next year. So, people want to ask me how they can get a ticket, and we don't have the magic power for that. I mean, it sells out quickly, so you have to contact Linda Grindle, and I don't have Linda's contact information but you could probably maybe send a message on her YouTube.
Sacredconnections.com, I believe, is the website where she books the events. And if you think you want to go to one of the seminars, be saving up now, and as soon as she announces it, book it, because they do sell out like in a day,
like fast. She also wants to come to Chicago, so I'm working on that, I promise. But sacredconnections.com. So
yeah, I believe that's the website for checking on her, and then you can click on her events or whatever, her retreats.
We have a lot of fun with it.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun to put a face to the people that we see their names in YouTube all the time, chatting in the chat and stuff.
It's like when I used to do TV. It's very one-sided because they can see us, but we can't see them. And they'll come up, hi, Mel, hi, Jen, hi, Linda. I'm like, do I know?
I always ask them, what's your YouTube name?
I can't even remember the YouTube names. They say I watch you on YouTube. Oh, thank you so much. But we're going to be on the same airplane.
Yeah, flying together.
Yeah,
well, that's where we met. With the first year we went to Sedona, I saw you at the airport. Went up to you before we boarded the plane to fly out.
This crazy woman with a mask come up and said, "Are you Mel?" I'm teasing. I go, "No, I changed my name. Who are you?" I'm teasing. We had a nice conversation. And then we got on the airplane and we became instant friends. I like that. Okay, we've got a bunch of questions. So are we ready here?
I have a question that I haven't even looked at the chat to see if somebody asked about it, because it just came up, and I know you just got home, so you may not have seen some of the breaking news, but
I didn't.
Lindsey Graham came out and said he's presenting a bill about abortion rights and wants to bring it to a vote quick. And basically he's saying they'll allow, on a federal level, it would allow abortions up to 15 weeks. So not the 12 that a lot of states are doing, up to 15 weeks, with exceptions for rape, incest, or the woman's life is at risk.
Well, the only reason he's doing that, my guides tell me, is because he's such a chameleon. And there's another name for him, which I won't say because I'll go to YouTube jail.
Because
it's with an A and ends with an H.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago he was saying it's up to the states' rights. It's up to the states. It's the midterm.
You know, the only reason he's doing that is because a lot of Republican women are hopping mad about the whole Roe v. Wade thing. And, you know, the problem is here's what he's up to. I can tell you right now. I'm going to bring this bill, get it to the House, and then bring it to the Senate. And he knows that the Democrats aren't going to put it through. And then he can say, you see, I tried to work for abortion rights and the Democrats blocked it. That's what he's up to.
Yeah, he already said he hoped it was a bipartisan bill, but it's like, I think he's trying to get some of the women's votes. They know they're in trouble on the midterms, but at the same time, they should not be putting any timelines to point on an abortion bill. It should be up to the woman and her doctor.
That's correct. And here's the way the Dems can handle that. Wait a minute, but that's still anti-abortion. So, you know, my Italian family would say this to Lindsey Graham.
Well, so part two of this, somebody asked him in the press briefing where he was standing there talking about this, if he had cleared this through Mitch McConnell, and he basically said he didn't care what Mitch thought or something. So is there a falling out? What are your guys telling you between Mitch and Lindsey?
There is, because Mitch McConnell can't stand Trump and Lindsey Graham sucks up to him. That's number one. Number two, if Mitch McConnell doesn't bring it to the Senate floor and says, no, Lindsey Graham can't do that unless he can get his, you know, some of the Republicans to pressure Mitch McConnell. But I can see Mitch right now saying, I'm not going to do that. Even though Mitch, you know, he wanted SCOTUS to be so conservative, but now, well, maybe they should have rethought the abortion thing. Okay, Mitch, hang it up. You know, so that's exactly what's going on. But Mitch has to bring it to the Senate floor, and I doubt if he will.
So what are your guys telling you if they bring it up before midterms, which he's saying he's presenting it tomorrow? Will it help or hurt them, or no impact at all on the Republican side?
Well, I don't see Mitch McConnell doing it. If he does, I'll be very surprised, and I'll eat my words.
Yeah, but he's the minority leader. He won't have, it'll be Schumer.
Oh, that's right. It'll be Schumer. I forgot about that. Yeah, but in order to bring it to the floor, he's also got to have the approval of Mitch and get some Republicans on board with it.
Yeah.
Now, you know, it could very well bite him in the butt if Schumer says yes, okay, and if it goes through, then Lindsey Graham, you know, they're going to say, but wait a minute, you know, he changed horses in the middle of the stream. Intuitively, I don't see it helping him. I really don't. But I
think they've already screwed themselves over too much. Not voting for things to help Americans, the average Americans.
But, you know, everybody knows that's, you know, he's trying to act nice and make everybody his friend. But, you know, Lindsey Graham still ain't out of the woods for his shenanigans in Georgia. And here he is, this election denier. Oh, the race rigged, blah, 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 blah. So how can anybody trust him with the whole abortion issue?
Yeah. So what do you feel with Lindsey about the Georgia?
Successful.
Yeah. What do you get on the Georgia thing? Will he get forced to go talk to them before the midterms?
I don't think before, but he's going to have to testify. And he's going to plead the fifth. You know what they're playing stall tactic is what's going on. Even that Judge Cannon, who's a loose cannon, that one that they said was selected randomly from Southern Florida federal district.
Yeah.
Trump and his cronies had their hands in that, and they influenced those people to put her on that case. And at some point, they're going to have proof of that as well. So that's what my guides are telling me. But Lindsey Graham is, he's going to be dog meat. I mean, he's trying to wait for the midterms because he thinks that maybe things will change in Georgia. But I don't think the attorney general is up for reelection. I don't know how I don't know if they're voted in Georgia or how that works down there, but they're not going to give up on it.
I think what I was just pulling a few cards. I think Lindsey's also going to get subpoenaed by Merrick Garland and the DOJ. And I'm getting within a couple of months, so maybe in November, right after the election.
I just got cold chills on that.
Whole bunch of Republicans, and one of the leaders, so probably Kevin McCarthy. He's waiting. He's waiting right now. So I think he'll wait till right after, they just subpoenaed like 40 people, and they've gotten phones from some. They've asked for all letters and emails and everything, even including anyone in Congress, any legislators. It was put that way, even legislators. So he's going to go after the people in Congress that helped out with January 6th.
And was behind the whole election thing. It's funny. When you said that, I just got cold chills all over. That means truth. And I just did Monday, I was on the show with Linda and Danny Shea, the bathrobe tarot. And all three of us said the same thing, that, when the January 6th hearings are public again, they're going to have some huge witnesses, and they're going to have a lot of things that are going to be like blockbuster. And my guide showed me that the DOJ is already talking to these people behind closed doors.
Yeah, they're pulling a lot into the grand juries. There's 3 grand juries in DC on Trump. The fake electors, which I think Lindsey will get dragged into.
Well,
the January 6th grand jury, and what's the third one? Oh, the stolen documents. There's 3 grand juries on Trump. He's going to get indicted. Just wait.
He is. And the other part of this is, I think that Judge Cannon or whatever, I see that I see an appeal, and the DOJ did file an appeal, and her ruling about special master, or what do you want to call it, that'll get overturned in appeal. She shouldn't even be the judge on this case.
She's going to get impeached. It's like the DOJ already said today that it was out of her jurisdiction. They're going to pull it to DC. They'll just take it out of her jurisdiction, and they'll get it appealed and overturned, and she's going to get impeached. You wait.
I see her off the bench, and they're going to be able to prove that there was some shenanigans, and that her selection for this case wasn't really random.
Yeah. Yeah, it was all set up.
She could, you know what? She can even go to jail.
Yeah.
Her career is shot.
Well, so's Trump's.
Well, but his base is still his base. He could say the moon was made of green cheese and it's going to come down from the sky tomorrow and give everybody a slice of it, and they'd fall for it.
Yeah. I think it's funny that they're like, oh, Biden's so divisive, calling MAGA fascists. And it's like, well, if you're triggered by that, then maybe it's true.
Well, if it looks like a horse and it's got stripes, it's a zebra. It's not a horse. It's not a horse with stripes. So, hello, MAGA is fascist. So it is what it is.
And I love they always talk about Antifa. Well, there is no group called Antifa. It's a made up thing. But I hope to God we're all anti-fascists.
I agree. We should all be anti-fascist.
Yep. So am I Antifa? Probably.
It doesn't make us communist. I'm not a communist, nor am I a socialist.
Antifa, I guess is how they pronounce it. But yeah, I hope to God the whole country's Antifa.
But if you ask me if I believe in affordable health care, yes. And affordable medication, yes. And take care of the underprivileged, yes. And our seniors, yes. I don't think that's socialism. I just think that's being responsible government.
Oh, here's a good question, Mel.
But hold on, let me just finish this. I pulled 3 cards on Lindsey Graham. Okay, I do the playing cards or the gypsy cards. I pulled the Jack of Spades, which he's trying to make everybody be his friend. But then the 6 of Clubs came up, which means a very disagreeable surprise for him. He's not going to win. And then I pulled the 5 of Spades, which means death. not a physical death, but the death of his ideas and the death of his career. So he is not going to win on this at all. So go ahead, Jen. I'm sorry.
A question posted on your community tab. My question is from Rebecca. What will be the most shocking information the public will learn about Trump's administration and time in office? I mean, there's so much. What will be the most shocking?
Well, I think it's something that we all know, indeed, that there were documents being sold to our enemies. And somebody's going to come. I think that Zelensky from Ukraine has already told the DOJ what their intelligence has picked up between the Putin-Trump liaison, alliance, if you will. And a lot of that's going to be made public. So that's going to be huge. But there's going to be people coming forward, some of these countries who had their national security breached, to say, we have these documents that he gave up, that he couldn't find. And that's going to come out. And that's a big thing that's going to happen. So,
well, and I'm getting kind of going along with that. Something's going to come up in the courts about destiny cause, which, with these, we already know there was one guy undercover in Russia that they had to pull back, but deaths that he's caused, there's going to be illumination on that. It's going to get a lot of attention. So somebody's going to talk about that in the courts.
If I could come through this phone and kiss you right now, I would do it. Not phone.
And foreign leaders that he gave information on people that were undercover.
That's right.
I think that'll be shocking, because that'll be, treason again right there.
Exactly. Okay, Tiffany DeLizio said, appreciate your steadfastness. Would love to know how or why some people are unable to see or hear from guides in spirit. Normally don't do personal questions, but Jen and I teach this, and typically your intuition, psychic ability, mediumship is that first thing that comes through. If you're visual, it'll be visual. If you're more hearing, it'll be inner voice, or it could be a feeling. And that is truly the message from spirit or from our guides.
I think a lot of times people block the message from coming through because they get busy in their day-to-day life. You're got a house to clean or kids to feed or whatever, and you get busy. And sometimes those messages come through at weird times, like not necessarily when you're sitting down meditating. Sometimes the answer will come to you, some other time, or a connection. And some people get too busy and don't hear it.
And then people get hung up in analysis paralysis. Like, is this me thinking this? Is this my guides? Blah, blah, blah. So that's common as well.
I always say we all have ego. Ego is our sense of self, but it can get in the way. So like when I'm doing readings, I shift my ego over to the right, so that I don't question things, because the ego likes to question everything. Am I right? Was that right? Did I get that right?
That's the analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
The hardest thing for me to do in my class is just get people to give the message. But I'm going to tell you something. During the first class, I already have them reading each other. And I'll say, okay, when I say stop, please stop. And I'll say stop, they won't stop. I go stop, and they won't stop. I just stop.
But you're right. It's that first thing that comes to you. However it comes to you, that very first thing, go with it. Say it. Don't put the filter on. Just say it. Say it out loud.
It's not like seeing spirit with our naked eye. It's with our clairvoyant eye. And our psychic ear, the clairaudience. Claircognizance means we know. We don't know how we know or what we know. We just know. And I'm a spiritualist from way back when, so all of those things are forms of mediumship. The claircognizance is the most common, actually.
Yeah, clairsentient, getting a feeling. Like, I'm an energy healer, so I'll get a twinge in my body to tell me where to work on the person that I'm going to work on. Or as a medium, like if I'm connecting to your departed father, if he died of a heart attack, I'll get a thump in my chest. I get a clairsentient. I get a knowing, a feeling, a sensation.
That's what happens to me too. Sometimes I'll get the symptoms they had right before they crossed into spirit.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Jenny W. Would you please read on Ukraine today? There are hopeful signs, but I'm concerned that Rasputin, she says, will do something drastic. Well, I think he's pulling back to regroup. And he will do something drastic, but the Ukrainians will not give up. And my guides show me that Russian soldiers are going to start siding with Ukraine. They're kind of afraid to, because they're afraid of what Putin would do to their families. But if they say they're prisoners of war, then they could side with Ukraine. Belarus, there's going to be a lot of people siding with Ukraine. So Putin is trying to pull something, yes, but Ukraine will not give up. They're not going to give up. And this is to bring Putin down. You mark my words. Spirit is so strong on this.
There are now people that are asking Putin to step down. So I just want to pull cards on that. Will he? Because there are people in the Kremlin as well as people out in the voting districts that say it was rigged again, of course. I just want to pull cards real quick on will Putin step down here by the end of the year, because I always felt this is not going to be a short-term war. This is a long, drawn out mess.
I think a lot of people are afraid to say he should resign because they don't want to get pushed out of a window.
Yeah.
Because Putin just kills his enemies or locks them up forever.
I just want to look, will he step down? He's such a narcissist that.
And a sociopath, psychopath.
I don't know. I don't think he will. I think they're stuck with him. I don't think he's too treacherous. Something might happen to him in secret, though.
See, I pick up that somebody's going to take him out.
Mm-hmm.
But I pulled the 4 of spades, which means that even his closest people are becoming suspicious of him. And behind closed doors, they're already coming up with plans to try to get rid of him. I mean, like, get rid of him.
Yeah.
I pulled the eight of clubs, which means he's got a lot of enemies and a lot of calamity coming. So
they want change. They see he's unbalanced here. This is him, Putin, and they may take an action to put him out in the cold. So sucks to be you.
He's got dire, fierce enemies around him. They act like they like him, but they don't.
Yeah.
And I just pulled the Ace of Hearts, which would mean, like, as I said, those close around him that are really going to turn on him as they should. And then I pulled the 10 of Diamonds, which is a death card. So
they may take him out.
Something. But it's, well, think of it this way. Let me take my psychic hat off for a moment and put my just logical hat on. Let's say you lived in Russia and you've got your card, your MasterCard, you've got your Gucci, you've got your name brand stuff. You can go to the grocery stores. You want to get a Big Mac at McDonald's, you can. That's one day, and the next day, boom, everything stops. You can't go to a lot of countries in Europe anymore. You can't have your Visa or your MasterCard. You can't go to McDonald's.
You got a 10,000 square foot house and you can't access your money because of all the sanctions.
Correct. And it's not worth anything if you can. Women can't get their feminine hygiene stuff. It's just really bad. And so, that economic hardship will make a lot of people against him. I know a lot of Russian people and they're against him. And I know a lot of Ukrainian people. Chicago has a very big population from people who came here from the former Soviet Union. Mm-hmm. Now, if you like Putin, but my response is, you like him so much, go back there.
Go back. Go back.
then we'll talk about it, right?
Yeah, let's see. What other questions?
Okay. Jamie K. Will we get to see Trump in cuffs doing a perp walk? I love it. Well, he's gonna.
I never see him like Linda. I never see him in jail, but I see him in a mental hospital. I think he's going to claim insanity and they're going to say, okay, and put him in a mental hospital to isolate him.
I just said that. That's funny that he's like, what he's doing already is trying to feign an illness. Yeah. And they said he was all red when they came up the golf course. And I'm like, yeah, probably because he took too much Adderall.
Yeah. And I always see Don Jr. in a burgundy jumpsuit.
He's going to go.
Means he's going to be a high security risk. So he's going to end up locked away.
I see yellow to match Trump's hair. Yellow gel. Orange. I'm sorry. Orange gel.
Will we see him in cuffs? Would they actually put him on camera in cuffs or a mug shot? Will we see a mug shot?
I hope his hair's all that wispy updo that's so fake. I hope that that's like showing his real bald head. Are we bad? This is ginger ale, everybody. I ran out of orange.
I don't think so. I think they're going to block America. This is my card for America. Block America from seeing him cuffs, seeing him, in jail, or seeing him constricted in any way. I don't, and his health isn't good. We should look at his health. His health isn't good. I'm not sure he'll make it to get sentenced.
Hold on, my husband just came home. I'm doing a YouTube channel with JennLynn, so.
Hello.
Anyway, let me see here.
You see him in cuffs or a mugshot?
I don't necessarily see him in cuffs, but I see like paparazzi getting his pictures from a distance.
Yeah.
Oh,
stooped over.
Correct. He's running scared right now. He really is. When Trump starts to pull, he's working on something. He's got something up his sleeve. But when he starts doing crap like he's doing and saying the crap he says, he's scared, because he always blames everybody else. I mean, everything he's blamed other people of doing, he's done.
So he had the meeting on the golf course yesterday with two of his lawyers, which he's got two more that I didn't know about, because he's getting his lawyers from 1-800-QUICK, I need help. So Devin Nunes was there. Kevin McCarthy was supposedly there. Eric Trump was there. There's all these photos on YouTube from a distance, of who all was there. There were like 10 people there. Golfing, nobody had a golf club, and it supposedly was misting rain. So they weren't golfing. So it was at his, I think it's called Sterling, his golf course in Virginia, Sterling, Virginia.
He's going to lose that golf course, by the way.
Yeah, he's going to lose them all. He's paranoid now. He wants to know like who's giving up stuff on him, and he's afraid he's being wiretapped. But what was his meeting about with these?
Part of it, he made it look like a photo op, but it wasn't. All right, but some of his lawyers, they're real shysters. It's like, wow. He actually thinks he's going to get out of this, but he's not.
Yeah. What were they discussing in the meeting?
I think trying to like see how they could finagle this judge and see like a course of action where they could do a spin. That's what I'm picking up.
Mm-hmm. Image control, because that indictment is coming. Trying to protect himself from this indictment.
But it won't work, because I see the 8 of diamonds, which means broken glass, and it means ill luck.
Witness tampering. Witness tampering. So they were talking about how to mess with any witnesses, how to pin them down. Witness tampering.
It's weird you said that. Not weird. I mean, synchronicity, because I had said Monday, I think. I had said Monday. There's going to be people coming forward to talk to the January 6th commission, and they're going to say that they got not a call from Trump, but somebody that's pretty high up in his organization. And they're going to
rarely directly from him. He gets everybody else to do his dirty work.
Yeah, but then what those people are going to say, you got to support the party, you got to do this. So don't really say anything, and that's going to come up again. And at some point, they're going to be able to relate that directly to Trump. And my guides just showed me that the DOJ already has enough to relate those phone calls to the other witnesses to Trump. So you're right, it is witness tampering. One
more charge for him, just one more.
There's going to be so much coming out on him. I mean, this hasn't even scratched the surface. That's what I'm picking up.
Somebody was asking about GOP in Texas. Abbott and the AG Paxton are actively pursuing legislation against trans youth and their families. I don't think they're going to have to worry about it, because I think Beto's going to win. Unless they rig the election, I think Beto's going to win there. So I'm just going to ask my cards if there's going to be problems with legislation against trans youth.
Well, they say he's running a few points behind Beto, but he was sick. So I think he's really going to be campaigning. And I can tell you right now, a lot of the Republican women in Texas, don't like him. And them picking on
And the parents, after the shooting of the parents, it's like, yeah, this is
Uvalde,
ridiculous.
that brought him down, especially when that guy told you SOB, he told Beto to get off the stage and and didn't look good. And then Abbott lied about the investigation and what happened.
Yeah.
It's all going to come out. Trust me.
Covered it all up. And then finally the head of the police got fired. It's all going to backfire on him. But I just want to look at, will they be successful at any legislation for trans?
He was a scapegoat, but I see Beto in a very high government position. So, but the thing that concerns me the most is, they're picking on trans people right now. And that's just a precursor for them to pick on the rest of us LGBTQ people or LGBTQ people. They're going to try to overturn gay marriage and all of that, especially Clarence Thomas. But and you watch, the next thing is the attorney general down there is going to try some crap about gay marriage and see if it gets to the Supreme Court. But I don't know.
They're creating anxiety, and they want to keep presenting bill after bill after bill. But their challenge is all the women coming out, all the women ganging together. They're gonna vote these people out and take an action. So will they be successful? I get no.
Who won't be successful?
The legislators at passing trans legislation. I get a no. They won't be.
Well, if they do, it'll be overturned, but they're doing that to see if it'll go to the Supreme Court. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a litmus test because then they can start on gay marriage and all that stuff. But I see a book, The Jack of Hearts, which means a lot of mysteries coming out, a lot of secrets, a lot of stuff, a lot of dirt coming out against Abbott. Yay. So.
There's when they created the Supreme Court, we had 9 districts, and that's why we had 9 members of the Supreme Court. Now we have 13. Do you ever see them expanding the Supreme Court?
I do.
To 13.
And I keep predicting there's going to be 2 or 3 justices off the Supreme Court, Clarence Thomas being one of them.
I keep getting Biden's going to be naming 3 people. Well, he's already named one. Our new lady. Oh gosh, her name just escaped me.
Oh, the one that's on the court now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't think.
I kept seeing 3 for him. So I think he's going to have 2 more that he gets to put on the court.
Well, Clarence Thomas was talking about overturning gay marriage and this and that. So if those cases get to the Supreme Court, he really needs to recuse himself because he's already let the public know that he's made up his mind about it.
Yeah.
So, who checks the Supreme Court? But my guides show me that there's going to be like rules of the road coming for the Supreme Court. They have to follow these rules. And if they don't, goodbye.
Yeah.
And also I see term limits coming for the Supreme Court because this is crazy what's going on.
Term limits and age limits. And then you've got Jenny Thomas is going to get Clarence in all kinds of trouble.
And Jenny Thomas is going to be in all kinds of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So
they've got the emails now connecting her to the fake electors and to Sidney Powell and Mark Meadows and everybody. It's like she's going to be in big trouble.
Which means she lied to Congress about her participation and all of that. So,
yeah.
Okay. Elizabeth, Mel, what do you see for Texas weather for the upcoming months? Thank you so much. You have a blessed day. Well, you have one too, Elizabeth. Oh, I see Texas having another really cold winter, and their grid system is not that great, and there's going to be a lot of issues with that. When is the governor's race in Texas?
Should be in November with election day, right? When Beta's.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, with everything else. I see a cold winter for all of the U.S. because I feel like even here in Illinois, like it's going to be exceptionally cold. We had a relatively mild winter for us last year. But I think we're going to have a much colder winter. It's going to be hard because Biden's trying to get gas prices like natural gas for heat and stuff under control. And he wants to put a cap on the pricing. And of course, the Republicans don't want to do that.
Of course,
they want to complain about inflation, so
Well,
Um,
Republicans don't want to do it because they know it'll be inflationary. They want the Dems to look bad. Plus, they've got their fingers in the oil business.
yeah, I hate to say it, but I get that there will be a lot of deaths this winter because it's going to be quite cold.
Um,
A lot of people crossing over. Judgment card, that's a crossing over.
when I first moved here years ago, when State Street was the prairie, this time of year, it always started to get chilly. And like the weather for the past couple of days was what it was like back then. And then usually by October, November, we had snow. We had a first, and then you didn't see the ground again until spring.
The first winter I moved up here, we had snow October 4th. I remember it like the date like very distinctly. So
I thought I had moved to Alaska or Siberia.
Yeah.
One time, it was 3 or 4 years ago, it was colder here than it was in Siberia.
Uh-huh.
I mean, Chicago weather, you have in the wintertime when it's cold, you have to bundle up because if you don't, you get frostbite because
it's frostbite weather.
That wind whipping along and
When I live further out than you do, I have cornfields and stuff behind me. So that wind, it whips across. So I like run to my garage, back my car out, let it warm up, run back in the house while it's warming up and wait, until the heat has kicked on in the car.
Illinois is all flat. So when we get the snow and then there's a wind, then we get the snow drifts. If we get some hills, that wouldn't happen. But
I think the thing that freaked me out the most when I moved here, because I lived in the Northeast most of my adult life in New York area, it doesn't melt off here. So like, everywhere else I've lived, you get snow, you have it for, a few days or a week or whatever, but it'll melt off and then another snow comes along. Here, it just keeps piling up and piling up and piling up and it doesn't melt off till April. Like I had snow behind my garage, at the first week of April.
I took pictures of the snow mounds in the parking lot in my office, and I sent them to people that are like, is that snow? I go, well, it ain't cotton.
It's more ice by that point,
Or ice by that point. I like a good blizzard, but then after it gets slushy and it turns dark black because of the cars and stuff. But it's funny when it's a brand new snow at night, you look out and the way the light reflects on the snow, it's almost like you can see so clearly. It's like daylight, almost not daylight, but it's really the reflection of the light off the snow, and that's so cool. I like a good blizzard, but then I'm tired of it.
Somebody's asking, Jersey Mouse reports that Congressman Adam Schiff, who led the first impeachment, is interested in replacing Nancy Pelosi as Speaker when she finally steps down. I see him in a higher role. So I see him like either as Speaker of the House or running for president or something, but I do see him in a higher role. Like it feels to me like he'll end up as Speaker of the House.
When you said that, I just got cold chills with that. The answer to that is yes. I can't hear. There's bag rattling. I can't hear.
Let's see.
All right. Heather, what is going to happen with Melania and Ivanka? Well, Melania, I don't think she's going to be in any trouble. I mean, I see a divorce between her and T. Rump. Ivanka, I see her. She's not out of the woods because they're investigating her as well.
And Jared's going to be in big trouble. I mean, his $2 billion he got from the Saudis. Come on, he's going to be in big trouble.
Exactly.
Melania, I don't see her like going to prison or anything. She'll remarry somebody that's actually got money because Trump doesn't. he can't even pay his lawyers. So
right.
He's not a billionaire.
Okay. Haiti B says, is the money that was raised and donated to the Uvalde victims being used for what it was supposed to, such as help the families that were affected? I saw a news report in San Antonio a couple days ago that this little boy is suffering from PTSD, and his mom said they were told there is no assistance or funds available there in Uvalde. Did Abbott keep that money? I'm sure they did. That's terrible. That all that money that was raised, and they say they have no money, that's a crock.
Yeah, there's something more is going to come out on this. No, they didn't get it. The truth is going to come out on this. A lot of judgment being passed on whoever was handling this.
Right.
It's being manipulated. They will eventually secure it, but there's going to be an action taken against whoever was in charge of it. Republicans.
I'm going to put this on pause for just a second, Jen, okay?
Okay.
Hi, everybody. We're back. We took a little commercial break.
So, Libra Lady asked, what do you see for the abortion proposal for the Michigan ballot in November? You know, they have to put it on the ballot. They're going to keep abortion legal in Michigan, just like they did in Kansas. And I think you're going to start seeing more states forcing the issue through their state Supreme Courts to put it on the ballot. Let the people decide.
Well, you know, at some point, I see Roe v. Wade being reinstated federally.
Codified, yeah.
And so, and a couple of those justices in big trouble. Yay, like Kavanaugh and Thomas. You know, Clarence Thomas wants to overturn, as I said, you know, gay marriage, this and that. But hello, Mr. Thomas, how about Loving versus Virginia? Oh, I'm not touching that. That's a Supreme Court decision that made it okay for interracial couples to marry.
Yeah.
And so they try to say gay marriage goes back to the state. That's discriminatory.
Yeah.
And at some point, there will be a Supreme Court that will say can't do that, that we have our rights. So
yeah.
Good.
Michigan will have victory with this. So
good.
There's gonna be a lot of other states looking at this though and going, oh, we should do that here and push the agenda through their state Supreme Court. So
you know what's going to happen? Some of those ultra-right Trump-Lincoln politicians in those states are going to try to pull some shenanigans to step around that. But they'll find out that it won't work.
Yeah. What are you seeing for housing prices?
I have been, now when we were in Sedona, I said, I see a crash, and there was the real estate man and his wife there. They both did real estate. And he said, no, we call it a correction. I go, okay. So I think in about a year and a half, because what's happening is that there's a downturn in prices because people are paying above appraised values for property. They're closing without even an inspection, and then they're selling the paper as soon as they close without taking possession. And I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to get out from a property that they paid too much for, and it's going to be underwater. So I see a lot more foreclosures and short sales coming back on the market.
Yeah, I keep in personal, I'm not even going to pull cards on this because it comes up in personal readings over and over. And I keep getting that the housing bubble, which is also causing, rent rates to go through the roof, that the bubble is going to pop a little bit in January, February of 2023 is what I keep getting. It'll come back a little bit by spring, but this correction, which is a great way to call it, this correction is going to happen. I keep getting messages that it's like a soft recession. It's not going to be like in 2008 when the market crashed under Bush and caused a major recession that Obama had to work on fixing. But I do feel there's a soft recession going on with the inflation and all that.
I keep seeing the number like 1.5, so it could be a year and a half. But timing is hard for us psychics,
Yeah.
But anyway, but I think you're right on that one. Okay. Beverly Thompson. Hi, Mel and Jen. Hi, Beverly. One of my best friends, her name is Beverly. Beverly's a flight attendant for United, but she's also a very good psychic. So anyway, hi, Bev. Hi, Beverly, my friend. Hi, Bev. Okay. Thank you for being here for us. In Ohio, Nan Whaley, Democrat, is running against Mike DeWine, Republican, who is now governor. Will Nan Whaley win? Many thanks, and may both of you have an awesome day.
Nan Whaley. I'm going to pull cards on this one.
I don't know. It doesn't feel
like
it's
close.
It's very close.
It's close. I feel it's close.
Nan
Whaley.
That one governor that he was a Republican, he tried to ram around some stuff through, but the Ohioans did a bunch of ballots. They needed like 300,000 or 400,000 names. No, they needed like 50,000 names, and they got, millions of signatures. I can't think of the guy's name. But he's
Ooh, I get she secures the win.
Oh, you think she's going to win?
Because I was asking for her point of view. Let me ask on the guy how he does. Nope, the guy loses. Look.
Okay.
It's going to be close though, because I feel that energy, like it's right down to the wire.
I wonder how she's doing in the polls, which doesn't really mean anything. I felt disappointment. That's all that came up. I don't know if it's for her or him. I just felt disappointment. That's all I got. So, okay. Sweetie Darling Lulu. I love that Sweetie Darling Lulu. She calls a lot of us. Love that name. Sweetie Darling Lulu.
I almost named one of my cats Lulu. I like that name.
You got a cat named after you, Sweetie Darling Lulu. Okay. Mel and Jen, what will happen with Attorney General Paxton from Texas with re-election? Did they vote for the Attorney General?
Yeah, in Texas they do. He's gonna go. He's got a crime he committed already that they haven't had the trial on because he keeps getting it postponed because he's AG.
What did he do? I didn't even know about that.
I can't remember if it was financial, like something with money, like insider trading or something. I forget what it was. He manipulated something, but anyway, like he's got to go to trial. So I want to look at him. It's like I want to see if he's got legal problems coming up.
He's going to get convicted. He'll get a slap on the wrist, but he's going to get convicted. That's what I see. Ooh, I see a Jack of Hearts. A lot of mystery, a lot of things coming to the surface about him. Yay.
Oh yeah, he's not going to be a happy camper because very quickly, once they have the new AG, he's got legal problems. Judgment on him. His case moves forward. And he's going to be sacrificed. He's a thief.
I got the Ace of Clubs, which means that calamities is really bad. I mean, calamitous stuff coming for him. He thinks he's a person of honor, but he isn't, obviously. And he thinks that nothing will stick. But the joke's on him because they're going to start looking into all of his business ventures and everything. So, I mean, his cards ain't looking real good. So, yay. These people that think they're above the law, like in the government and stuff, that's all going to come crashing down.
But, we still have some Trump people in the DOJ and the FBI and everywhere. Do you see a massive cleanup eventually, things getting...
The answer is yes, because I'm already seeing internal investigations going on because there was too many leaks. Now, some leaked against Trump. That's okay. But, like when they raided Mar-a-Lago, not raided, but when they executed the search warrant, I think Trump knew about that. He was already tipped off from somebody within the FBI. In the Secret Service. That's why he wasn't there.
Yeah, and I get someone in Secret Service is actually who tipped off DOJ that the documents were still there, that there were documents there.
Right. I think they tipped off Trump that there was going to be a search, but I don't think they said when. And I think they might have planted a story to say it's going to happen on this date, and it didn't. It happened sooner. That's what I think. Yeah. I mean, my guides tell me.
Going way back to like 2019, I was doing readings on, do they have spies in the White House? And I always got yes, that there were at least two that were keeping an eye on things. So I think they know exactly some of the stuff that went on there.
They do. I saw 3 people coming forward. One is a female that behind the scenes told them what happened. Okay, Marion Purnell. Hi, Mel and Jen. It seems as though the medical care that's being received recently is substandard, or is it just me and my perception? It's not your perception. People in this country who can't afford decent health care insurance, like with Medicaid and things like that, they don't get the same standard of health care. I mean, there are excellent doctors out there, don't get me wrong. But what the doctors are reimbursed on Medicaid, and a lot of doctors won't take it anymore. So,
and this whole are you in the network or not, with the insurance companies, Biden actually wants to lower the age for Medicare, Medicaid to 60. My congressperson from Illinois, who's running again, he wants to lower it to 50. He has presented that in the past, Bill Foster, and he wants to present that again and try and get it lowered to 50 to make it more universal for people. Now that they've started with like giving Medicare, Medicaid the power to negotiate the price of insulin and things like that and capping the insulin prices, we're going to see more of that. We're going to see a lot more of that and getting.
I don't know if they'll do it at 50, maybe 55, but I like this bill that went through because they put a cap on how much people over a certain age have to pay for medications every year.
Yeah, $2,000 a year.
Correct. And that's why I didn't go on Medicare, because I'm on a specialty drug. And if I went on Medicare, I would have to pay at least $1,000 a month, because this drug, unless Medicare says they're not going to cover it, and they'll try that, some of these insurance companies, but they won't get by with it.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever have a single payer system, but what I do see happening is the price of drugs, prescription drugs, coming way down.
Yeah.
I mean, I needed what do you call it? It was antibiotics. Okay. And this is about 10 years ago. And I was in between healthcare insurance, and Walgreens wanted $150. I said, I'm not paying that. I have a friend who's a flight attendant in Hong Kong. She said, oh, I get that medication. She said, I'll bring you some. I said, how much is it? $5. It was the same exact medication, same exact company, $5 there, but $150 here. Now you tell me.
And here's a funny thing. So, I had dental work done this year. If you remember, I had some problems right before Sedona. And so I was put on antibiotics, and I don't have health insurance right now because I can't get Medicare, Medicaid, and the other programs, the deductible's too high. So I'm going without health insurance. So I go in to get my antibiotics, and the price on it was $70. But when I told them I didn't have health insurance, they dropped it right then to $35. Well, hello, then you can drop it for everybody right then to $35. What is all this price gouging crap?
Correct. And they'll say it's for research and development. They make enough money on research and development. Give me a break.
Yeah.
So I'm not buying that rhetoric. All right. I do see affordable medication, and that's going to be the Build Back Better package is not dead. It's going to go through eventually. So pieces of it just did. So yay. Okay.
You know what? I have a question for you. Jackson, Mississippi, where their water's all jacked up. They were given $41 million at one time by the federal government to help them. And of course, they claimed, oh, one pipe was $8 million. Oh, bullcrap. It's like, so the money is not getting where it's supposed to get. Do you see Jackson, Mississippi, because correcting this issue with the water, because they're all drinking bottled water. They're told to keep their mouth closed in the shower and everything. It's like Flint, Michigan. We're going to have more and more and more cities like this having this water problem with, the corrosion in the pipes and everything.
Those politicians who are anti-clean water bill should have to drink that water.
Yeah.
And let's see how they like it. Especially the ones that are their elected representatives who are in DC or their cush hotels or homes getting the filtered water because they can afford it. I see legislation coming once again to clean up our water supplies and to clean up the pipes, and infrastructure coming to put new pipes down that have no lead and that aren't toxic. So I see a lot of legislation coming for that. That's what I see.
Yeah.
And
I'm getting something about 2 years for Jackson, 2 years. Because right now it's like, no, it's not getting corrected. It's anxiety because of thieves taking the money and not using it for what it's supposed to be for, abandoning it. But I do see in 2 years more money coming in to help them.
And my guides just show me a shortage of bottled water because everybody's going to be drinking it and using it because they can't, you're going to have to use it to cook and all that stuff. And
some people can't afford it. Mississippi's the poorest state in the country. Some can't afford to go buy bottled water.
I see though coming into play like those big, 5-gallon things in a water cooler that, right. And I see maybe help coming for people to purchase that. But you're right. Not everybody can afford it. But I do see bottled water becoming more affordable, so that's good.
Yeah, they were giving out some there, but they ran out. It wasn't enough. Like
That's
a
like
whole
Trump going to,
city that needs it.
like Trump going to Puerto Rico and throwing paper towels to the people when they had that hurricane down there.
That's it exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Here's your crumb, but not everybody gets
Yeah,
it.
keep your mouth closed in the shower, but here's a little bit.
Yeah, well, they should have to take a shower in that water too. Okay. Hold on just a minute. We got time for one more. How's that?
Okay.
We're only doing political questions, everybody. We don't, that's what we answer on here. All right. Hold on. Hi, Mel and Jen. This is going. Layla 22. Will the SM special master, whatever they call it, chosen by T. Rump and his lawyers, Raymond Deary, Reagan appointee, be of help or hindrance to DOJ's ongoing investigation of the classified materials that T. Trump took from the White House and refused to turn over? Will they be able to find documents that are missing? I don't understand why the judge let Trump pick his special master. That's like let the bank robber rob the bank.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why they didn't make, she didn't make a ruling herself and choose a special master. DOJ actually said they were okay with Deary. I think he had worked on a lot of high classification cases in the past. Retired judge.
It's going to bite Trump in the butt. That Deary is going to bite Trump in the butt. And then watch what'll happen. Then they'll want another special master. Oh, we don't like that. Too bad.
Yeah. He won't get to finish what he's put there to do. They're going to like somehow flip it around, overturn it. So I get it. He'll be put out in the cold. And they get a lot of evidence. So I don't think it matters, but he's not hurting it.
But at some point he's going to flip for the DOJ. You watch. Yay.
I don't think he'll get to finish the job though. I think it'll go through the appeals court and it'll all get dissolved.
That's how I see it. Okay, simply me. We got time for one more.
Okay.
When or how will the Federalist Society influence in government and appointing judges be dismantled? I see that a lot, they're being investigated too. And with this January 6th thing and a lot of what's coming up with these Trump-Lincoln politicians, they're going to be exposed. And so there's some people in that organization that are going to end up getting indicted.
I do think, they'll get exposed and everything because there is going to be some sort of legislation that comes through that tries to reel in. They're already looking at this, Sheldon Whitehouse is all over this. I love that guy. So he's going to temper it. He's going to bring it down. But the Federalist Society themselves, they're secure. They may rename themselves. They're secure. They got too much money behind them. So they're not going to go anywhere, but they're going to have to come up with some other plans of how to influence politics.
But at some point, I see their influence dwindling. And that's a lot sooner than later, I think.
Yeah, they get a lot of money. They get so much money that it's really hard. I get they'll transition somehow into something a little bit different.
But you know what just hit me? My light bulb went on. Is I see legislation being passed once again where like these big organizations like that, these political action committees, corporations, if they make over X amount dollars of a donation to a campaign or to a political PAC or something, then they're going to stop. They're going to put limits on that they can't make these big contributions. And that's going to be severely limited.
Citizens United, will be overturned. That's it. And Mitch McConnell, they're going to overturn Citizens United eventually, but I think it won't be overturned completely until the Supreme Court gets changed up a little bit.
And that's going to stop a lot of this.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, all right, my dear, this has been so much fun.
So much fun. I can't believe I'm going to see you in person in 2 weeks.
I know. Let's do this again. And with, after we
Absolutely.
get cat skills. Okay. So if you want to get a hold of JennLynn, JennLynnTarot.com, visit her YouTube channel. and everybody knows how to get in touch with me. So everybody go to JennLynn's YouTube channel, give her a thumbs up. Give a thumbs up.
We will try our best. We didn't get to do it in Sedona, do a live stream from Sedona, but we will try our best to do a live stream with Linda, Mel, and me from the Catskills. If we get a night, we can do it.
Just so busy, you know.
It was crazy busy this time.
And I still have openings on my gorilla tour, my gorilla trek, Uganda next summer. I called some people back today. I've just been crazy busy. So now I'm going to start focusing more time on that. So guys, if you call my office, don't give up. I didn't forget about you, I promise. Anyway, all right, Jen, this has
Thanks
been
for having me.
You stay well. Thank you. And we got to do this again. This is so much fun.
That was fun. That was quick.
That goes by fast, doesn't it?
Yeah, it goes by so fast.
All right, my dear. Hold on just a second.